Los Angeles Times. $1.80 dinners and budget clothes. The spread of frugality is hurting China's economy. Affordable food and clothing, but at what cost?
In China, you can get a meal for $1.80. That's right. And not only is it affordable, it's actually nutritious and quality food. Meanwhile, in the West, you'd be lucky if you can get a can of SpaghettiOs for that price. Now, according to some in the West, frugality is hurting the Chinese economy. Apparently, affordable food is a very bad thing. Let's take a look at some more reactions.
So I was on the news again. This time it was for saying that America is not a first world country, which is true. Did you know that? I didn't. Most Americans don't know that, except the people that live in other countries that saw that video were like, wait, you guys didn't know that? And now this is why China's the real threat, right? This is why China's so dangerous. Because whenever we actually see what they're doing, we're like, wait a minute. Why aren't we doing that? All these things that we have been told about China, they are literally doing to us. They gaslight us and they insulate us in such a way that we have no idea what is going on outside of our own country, and we can't even afford to leave and go find out on our own. Hi, that's intentional. Now, obviously, there is some truth to the things that we have been told about China. There are realities there that are horrifying, but we have purposely also been kept from all of the actual development that they have achieved. And it is far beyond ours. We are developing. We are not a developed country. You should be outraged that your tax dollars have been wasted. Our country could be so much better than it is. They don't want us to know that fact. Our entire lives, we have been sold this idea that everyone else across the world wants to be in America. They want to be in the land of the free, right? That we're the most developed, we're the most ahead. It's not true. We've been sold a lie. And it's not the citizens' fault. Literally, we learn these things from childhood when we're very, very small, like we are indoctrinated from a very young age. And I've noticed that talking about these things and pointing these problems out, seeing the responses from so many Americans that have not left the country, they literally have Stockholm syndrome. And then in contrast, the people that have traveled, the people that have lived in other countries, they're like, oh yeah, no, you guys are living in a shithole. That's common knowledge around the world, except for in the United States, for the people that have not left the country. That's why TikTok is a threat. That's why Rednote is a threat. That is why the United States hates China. One of the reasons. I'm sure there are others too.
This is exactly why platforms like TikTok and Rednote are so important. They break through the bubble and show people what's really happening in the world. And let's face it, when someone says America isn't a first world country, it hits hard because it's kind of true. But here's the thing, while the US is stuck in this cycle of denial, China has been quietly and sometimes not so quietly outpacing the West in development, lifting millions out of poverty, building infrastructure, and creating opportunities that people in the West can only dream of. And yet, instead of learning from China, the US labels it as a threat. Why? Because China's success exposes the cracks in the American system? It's not about fear-mongering, it's about accountability. So let's talk about it. Why is China so dangerous? Maybe it's because they're showing the world what real progress looks like.
Everyone who is just now getting on Rednote and realizing that China is way better than the US portrays it as, and that they are so much more advanced than us, some of us have been knowing, okay? Some of us taught English there and lived there a few years ago, and they were already light years of where we are today and now, okay? They had their original Chinese version of TikTok when I was there 10 years ago, okay? They have the fastest train in the world from Shanghai, which I rode. They have the newest Disneyland in the world in Shanghai, which I visited. Everything there is so much more advanced. People don't even walk around with wallets or purses because you don't need anything besides your phone. They are so efficient. You look around, there's no ugly parking lots. There's beautiful scenery everywhere because all of the parking is underground. Like, they are so innovative. This is what the US government doesn't want you to see about the third world country.
As I've said before, people are finally waking up to the fact that China isn't just catching up, it's leading. Fastest trains in the world? Check. The most advanced payment systems in the world? Check. It's a cashless society where your phone does everything? Check. And let's not forget the underground parking and beautiful scenery everywhere, because China actually plans its cities instead of letting them turn into concrete jungles. This isn't new. People who've lived in China, like this person, have been saying this for years. Meanwhile, the US government keeps pushing this narrative of China is a third world country. Why? Because if Americans saw the truth, if they saw how far ahead China really is, they'd start to ask some very uncomfortable questions about why their own country isn't keeping up. So to everyone just discovering Rednote and China and realizing how advanced China is, welcome to the club. It's about time the world sees China for what it really is, a global leader in innovation and progress.
In the US, we have been propagandized since birth to believe that not only do people in other countries hate us, but that we are so much better than all these people and that we have so much more access to things and so much more money and live in a better society. We make more money, we have more opportunity, like you name it, that's what they've told us about other countries. And yeah, like quite a few of us know that that's bullshit, but there is an entire group of people that have no idea that that's not true. And after this stunt that they have pulled trying to take this app away from us, how many people went over to Rednote and are now seeing that it's not true? The Chinese people are on there literally making videos saying like, hey guys, like we do not hate you. We like you a lot. And people are seeing videos about what their lives are like, and it's so much better than what we have here. And people are shocked. People are like minds blown about this. And the crazy part is that Chinese people thought that we hated them too. And this is all the result of propaganda. Stop listening to everything that they tell you. If you are told something, if you have this belief that you held your whole life, it might just not be true.
Let's be real. When people see life in China, how it actually is, how advanced, efficient, and community-focused it is, it's no wonder their minds are blown. This isn't just about an app, it's about breaking free from decades of propaganda, realizing that the world is much bigger and better than we've been led to believe. So to everyone waking up to the truth, welcome. It's time to stop listening to the lies and start seeing the world for what it really is.
My new Chinese pen pal, Xiaohongshu, is already concerned that I work too much and I need more rest. And I assured them, I was like, Xiaohongshu, actually the job that I work now is the most balanced and well-rested I've maybe felt as an adult, working a full-time job. And they were still like, I just want to make sure that you find time to enjoy your life. Is this what the government is afraid of? Is this what the US government is afraid of? Xiaohongshu.
Okay, this is a bit adorable, but also kind of eye-opening. Now, Xiao Yang, the Chinese pen pal, is out here worrying about their friend's work-life balance. And honestly, that says so much about Chinese culture. In China, there's a real emphasis on community, care, and making sure people have time to enjoy life. Meanwhile, in the US, they're glorifying hustle culture and burnout like it's a badge of honor. And, to be honest, is this really what the US government is afraid of? That Americans might realize there's a better way to live? One where you're not constantly overworked, stressed, and exhausted? So what did we learn today? China isn't just about fast trains, advanced tech, or affordable meals. It's about a way of life that prioritizes progress, community, and balance. From lifting millions out of poverty to creating cities that blend innovation with beauty, China is showing the world what's possible when a nation truly invests in its people. Meanwhile, the West is stuck in a cycle of misinformation, overwork, and denial. But as more people wake up thanks to platforms like xiaohongshu, Rednote, Little Red Book, and voices like yours, the narrative is changing. China isn't a threat. It's a blueprint. And maybe, just maybe, it's time we start paying attention. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what surprised you the most about China's progress. See you in the next one.
If it's ever like I have to pick the US or China, I'm picking China. If we go to war with China, I'm defecting to China. If they're like, oh, we're going to do a draft and you have to go fight, nope. Immediately giving all secrets to China. Loose lips sink ships, and I'm going to be sinking every US ship with my fucking blabbermouth. China can have my data. China can have my passwords. China can have my secrets. China can know everything about me. What the fuck is Rednote? Give me that. I'm signing.